Yo, yo, what's up, y'all? This your boy Layzie Bone Thugs in Harmony. Y'all catch me on the next episode of I Only Touch Greatness podcast.
Yeah, the mayor of C-Town, Ryan Hayes, and his big name guest. From the street to the V, where I learned to stand tall on my own 2 feet. Vancouver, BC is a part of me. No matter where I call home or where I sleep, I will forever be from the street to the V, where I learned to stand tall on my own 2 feet. Vancouver, BC is a part of me. I'm from Van City, grew up in Vancouver. Way back when we was taking taxis, not Ubers. We was being young, living life to the fullest.
Scan the code and follow. Often imitated but never duplicated, I Only Touch Greatness podcast with Ryan Hayes.
I let my hair grow long and I was getting braids. Yeah, and then I cut it all off. I was hustling cause that's how I was brought up. I was deep in the streets, I was getting caught up. Thank God RCMP never caught up.
What's going on with you, man? That's the man that don't age, man. You look just like you did like way back when.
That's called being blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all blessings, man. To the Father up above. I can't take none of that credit, but yeah, I'm built, I'm healthy, I'm in shape, I'm ready for it. You feel me?
Amen to that, man. For real. It's a blessing to have you here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here with y'all brothers, man.
So I'm Ryan up here in Vancouver, Canada. I was the one that messaged you. I got you talking, been annoying you for a year. I'm joined with B Styles in Oregon and Prince Allen in Kansas City. B Styles, say hi and then introduce yourself.
What's going on with you, man? Like big fan. I mean, like a super big fan. I remember as a kid watching Thuggish Ruggish Bone on the box, like growing up. And like,
man,
it's amazing. Like it's amazing that I'm even able to speak to you. I can't wait to get into this interview. I got a couple questions and a couple. I definitely want to give you your roses. I don't feel like y'all get y'all roses enough, man. And especially as Black men, man, doing great things and inspiring people. Like I'm gonna give you your roses today, brother.
I appreciate it. I definitely could use them. I'm sniffing till all the smell gone for real.
Prince, introduce yourself.
Prince Allen, Royalty New Rules on TikTok, IG, Royalty Rules. You probably see me in the inbox because I'm a huge fan of y'all, you know what I'm saying? And been a huge fan for the years, bro, since, Thuggish Ruggish Bone, on Yo and TV Raps, you know what I mean? Like, those weekends used to hit different, you know what I mean? Like, we used to play No Surrender like crazy. So, roses to you, man. It's a blessing to even have the honor to talk to you today. So,
man, well, I appreciate being here, man. I'm here for it, man. So, we can jump into it. I know my man say he'll be in KC. I'm rooting for y'all this weekend, brother.
Thank you for real.
I'm rooting for KC this weekend, man. I ain't got nothing against Philly or nothing like that, man. But I'm really I'm on my Super Bowl kick, so I'm really representing that red and yellow and white,
There we go. That was one of my questions I had for later on, so that's good. I was going to ask you who you thought was winning the Super Bowl this weekend. Born in Cleveland, also the younger brother of Flesh. What was childhood like for you growing up?
I mean, our childhood, man, me and my brother, we came up. It was rough when we came up. You know what I'm saying? We came up in the early 70s until we was teenagers by the time mid 80s came. You know what I'm saying? So that was that era of hustling and, kids in the street trying to do what they had to do to eat. You know what I'm saying? The world done came a long way since then.
And when did you know you wanted to start taking it seriously and really pursuing it as a career?
I mean, I knew about, I was serious with the music really early on, from like really when I knew what I wanted to do. I was in the 7th grade. I was about 12 years old. 11 to 12 years old, heading into junior high. You know what I'm saying? Really joining in any competition I could be in, any talent show I can get in. You know, so I knew what the dream was as long as I could remember, really.
I'm going to shoot one more quickly and then we'll pass it on. Being that this is a sports podcast originally, did you play any sports growing up?
I mean, I played baseball. Baseball was my first love. I pitched. I played first base. My bad. Second base, shortstop. I played right field, left field. I even played catcher one time. That wasn't my cup of tea, but yeah, baseball. I played basketball as well. You know what I'm saying? So baseball, basketball. I always loved football, but I never played football like organized like that. But you know, on the streets and shit like that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I never could play baseball. I could run some bases, but I can't hit like I want to. But I do got a question. Like you are recognized as the leader of Bone. Like how did it all come together? I know y'all was all in high school, but how did you come up with the blueprint of what y'all wanted to do?
Now it's kind of ironic, you know what I'm saying? Like I've really been piecing my autobiography together, you know what I mean? And I'm really like going into my bag and you saying that I'm known as the leader, I'm recognized as the leader. It don't seem like that sometimes, you know what I mean? But I really did like life put me on a trail of Bond Thugs and Harmony from since my first day when I entered school. You know what I'm saying? I've been popular since I touched kindergarten. You feel me? So they been knew who Steve was back in the day. So you know, well, first of all, Flesh is my brother. Wish is my cousin. Me and Crazy Brown been best friends since the seventh grade. You know what I mean? And everybody know that Busy is the baby of the group and the youngest. So, you know, my life path started with Bone. See, we was already boned up. We was Band-Aid boys in junior high school. You know what I'm saying? So we went from Band-Aid boys and ninth grade year, after ninth grade year, I wound up getting caught for selling dope. So that took me on a mission to Dallas, which led me to California, which led me to Bone. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to give my book away too much, but it all started on my life journey, man. So I've been tagging Bone along and putting this group together for a long time, man. Over 40 years now.
That's what's up.
Almost 40 years.
I got one more question. Like something that I'm originally from Kansas City, and I moved out here to Oregon about 14 years ago. Had to pursue in music and everything. But when I first came out here, I took the Greyhound. Y'all took the Greyhound from Cleveland all the way. Ooh. I know you got a story. I know you got a story about that bus ride.
Look, man, that bus ride was something else, boy. For one, I was so naive. I didn't even recognize what we was doing. Like, we gonna get out of here. We set the date. It was November 23rd. I set the date, November 23rd, 1993. We gonna leave up out of here. My brother came up with some bread. You know what I mean? We flipped that. We got out of here on the date we said. Now, we was damn near, and at that time, Flesh and Bone wasn't even Flesh and Bone. It was a movie out called Flesh and Bone. You know what I mean? He was still my big brother. He was still hooping in college. And, you know, we had our dreams was all a little different back then. But on the way there, it was a movie out called Flesh and Bone. When we got to Vegas, we looked up and it was a billboard that said Flesh and Bone movie coming soon. And we like, damn, that's a dope Bone name for you, Flesh. You know what I mean? For you, big bro. You know what I'm saying? And that's when his name came about. But we left on that one way bus ticket, didn't have a clue of what we was gonna do, so naive. I really didn't think about getting off the bus until we got to Vegas. I was like, a couple hundred miles left. We like, oh shit, where the hell we gonna go? But we got off that motherfucker rapping and didn't stop till we got to Easy E. So it was a crazy bus ride.
Right. Since y'all, y'all family members, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to do this as a kid. I don't know if y'all did, but like when you used to see like New Edition, right? And you like had an artist or something that you wanted to be when you grew up. What was y'all's, group or artist that y'all wanted to be, as kids whenever y'all grew up,
Yo, me personally, you know what I'm saying? Well, we did do the New Edition thing, you know what I'm saying? I always end up having to be Mike, you know what I'm saying? Which was befitting because I turned out to be the businessman anyway. So, so I was Mike
Right.
Bivens in that group right there. But then I was really Easy E before I met Easy E. I used to sing this shit. I knew it shit by heart, back and forth. And also my other favorite was LL Cool J. I knew LL Cool J shit back and forth. So I was those artists like jumping up and down on my bed with my mother telling me to turn that shit off because it ain't music. That's back when hip hop was in its infant stages. You know what I'm saying? Like wasn't
Right.
even a teenager yet. So yeah, I was Easy E. I was LL Cool J. Man, I really knew everything on the radio. I knew the radio back and forth by heart. My brother used to be mad at me. My brother used to punch me and shit like, man, you singing the song wrong. I'd be like, nigga, I know all these songs. But yeah, music, man, I've always been into that. Of course, Michael Jackson. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
can't forget the GOAT.
hey man, I was Michael Jackson. I was in fourth grade when Thriller came out. You feel me? So Thriller came out. I had my hair, you know what I'm saying, in the afro. So I put the grease in my shit, tucked it down, and, thought I was Michael Jackson. So we went through all the phases of music, man. Just like everybody else. We all come from the same cloth, really. Different places in life, but you know what I'm saying? Like we all had our favorites. We got the people that inspired us to be who we are today.
One of the first albums that I ever had was the Face of Death album. It was the very first album, if my stats are correct. The what went into making that, and I know that a lot of the times they say that your first album you put your heart and soul into because you're trying so hard to get it out there. Is that the case?
I mean, when we made Faces of Death, man, you gotta remember we were still in high school. So you know what I'm saying? I think our blood, sweat, and tears went into Creeping on the Come Up and Eternal and all the albums after that. That Faces of Death was our local album. When we first was getting acclimated with the studio, when we didn't know our way around the studio, like that was our test project, our can we do an album? You know what I mean? Like this is our first stab at it. So we did that shit. We was still in high school, man, and in Cleveland, it did really, really well. You know what I mean? We was famous in Cleveland before we left Cleveland. We was really on the Cleveland hip hop scene. So
It
you know
made
what
it
I
all the
mean?
way to
Like
it made it all the way to Vancouver, and we didn't have the internet back then.
like over the years. And you know what? Back in like 1991, I believe it was, we took a trip to Canada. You know what I mean? We was still Bone Enterprise. We wasn't even Bone Thugs and Harmony, but we took a trip. Our manager at the time, his name was Kermit Henderson, and he drove us up there, and it was a talent show going on. We performed up there, way up there, so we had our CDs and shit. We had our T-shirts. We was fresh out the trunk with it back in the day. So
And
we touched up there in Canada.
and somehow it ended up into my hands back in the day. That's the crazy part of all that. And I know you were just in Vancouver before COVID. You came with the Afro Man and I believe DPG. Do
Right.
you have a good Vancouver story before we shoot to these guys?
I mean, really, like, I never really explored the country, which I do want to get a chance to see it sometime. We drove through there one time and it was just a lot of land and a lot of land, and a lot of land going from the East Coast to the West Coast. You know what I'm
Yeah, the
saying?
middle
So,
part of Canada is flat, and there's not much in the middle part of Canada other than Vancouver and Toronto on the east and the west coast.
yeah, so we drove through there, but yeah, man, I mean, I know that the shows we do there is always off the hook, and we get so much love out there. Like the shows be immaculate, but it be too goddamn cold for me
You
to be to
you
be
actually just
honest.
did a song too. You just did a song with Mercules, the Vancouver famous guy.
Yeah, yep, Mercules, man. I like Mercules. That boy got flavor. He got style. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching him, I was getting hip to him, and I forgot how we hooked up. We hooked up over the internet, but yeah,
It,
we got a dope ass song with
it is a
Mercules out there.
it is a great song. It's a fucking awesome song.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
it's a
B.
dope.
So speaking of great music, I gotta tell you, bruh, your son can sing his ass off. Excuse my language. Your son got it, bruh. Like that
Yeah,
song, amazing with you on it, bruh.
right.
I'm like, yo, what is yo? And like,
Hey,
how did you know? Like, when did you first know? Because I mean, I got a son. He's 4. Like, what age was he whenever he first blew your mind?
I mean, well, really, well, little Stevie, man, Steven Jr. You know, they don't come up with rap names and nothing. They just like, my name's Steven, nigga. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, he been blowing my mind all his life. You feel me? Like I'm just proud papa, man. Like I sit back and, cause I can't sing like that. You know what I mean? But he got it. He inherited from his mom's chops. You know what I'm saying? My mama sing like so that the harmonies is all were always been around. You know what I'm saying? Like even our Bone Thugs and harmonies, it's always been harmony. So, you know, as a little kid, you'll hear him in the back of the car, and I'm like, who is that singing? Like this little nigga can sing. What is going on with these notes he hitting? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I've been proud of him, man. Like and they really and he's really coming into his now. He got a couple songs out there, so y'all can follow him, man. Stephen Jr., Stephen House Jr. You know what I'm saying? Plain and simple, looking good. He got a couple new songs out, and he building it up.
For sure, we should have him on the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Y'all should work him on the show, man, because he got a lot. They got a lot going on. My other son, Stevan, and Jeremy, all the kids, man. I got a lot of stuff. I'm gonna fill y'all in on all of it, but they clothing line, I'm representing that. It's called Bad Threat. So I'm watching my kids build they dynasty now.
well, it's a is it a, I might be wrong, but is it not a group of multiple bone sons?
Yeah, I mean it's you know what? Each one of us got a group of kids that's all talented. So they intertwine with each other. Sometimes they seem like a group together. Sometimes they solo. Like it's a bunch of these offsprings that Bone Thugs and Harmony then planted his seed in this thing called music. You know what I'm saying? So our roots is deep, and they will be. Them seeds will flourish very soon.
It's kind of like your career. You've been able to work with so many different people, even on a solo tip. Like you've done so many great songs over the years. One I always think about is Crossroads being my favorite song ever. I have a story to it. We don't need to tell it, but I got a good story to it. One of my favorite songs of all time. Do you have a favorite song that you ever recorded?
Mm, man, I'm kind of like it's hard to say what song a favorite song of mine that I recorded, but the style of songs that we make the most is like the if I can teach the world, or you know, the song called "Order My Steps" with Yolanda Adams, like those songs that really gravitate, got a message and all that. Like those are my favorite style of Bone Thugs, Days of Our Lives and stuff like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's like it's different styles of songs. So if I was thinking on that level, it would be like it would be like the Mariah Carey breakdown or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like those songs. But if I want to get on some hardcore shit, then my favorite song would be something like Mo Murder or Eternal. You know what I'm saying? Or Taking No Shorts, No Losses. You know what I'm saying? So Bone Thugs, to me, is like, it's so diverse. We have so many, like, you got the hard shit that you can bust somebody head to when they talking crazy. You know, you got your hustler anthems, you got your save the world songs. So
Yeah.
it's like it depends on, like, to me, Bone Thugs and Harmony is a genre within itself. And I say that because it's like no matter what genre somebody's in or what artist or genre's in, every genre of music has touched on Bone Thugs and Harmony and took a piece of our style and enhanced their genre. That's how influential I think me and my niggas is.
No, that's super
Right.
facts with the cape, brother. With the cape.
Right.
Mhm.
Yo, speaking of that, man, breakdown, man. You were just talking about it. Like, how was it being a part of that video? And I seen that Redman was in the video, wasn't he? When he
Yeah, he
was,
was a magician.
yeah, magician and stuff.
Yeah,
Like, how was it?
he
How
was
was it being
levitating
part
the
of?
body.
Right. How was it being part of? Being on that song. And produced by Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying? Which y'all did another song with him. You know what I mean? With Bow Wow. Like, how was it working with Mariah Carey?
I mean, it was a dream come true. You know what I'm saying? Like, you coming out of school, Mariah Carey was already an established, million selling artist, superstar, megastar. So to have that opportunity, not only one time, we got several songs with Mariah. You know what I'm saying? So it was like it was like you understood what fame was, what prestige was being around her aura. You know what I mean? It was huge. Even when we did the song with her, she showered us with gifts and shit. Like, not no little shit. You know, we came in the studio. She like, here, this is for you, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars type of worth of shit. Like, I'm like, man. So it was like us, like, not knowing that we was making history at that time. That's how young we was. But to look back, it's like we did that. So it was a dream come true, man. Working with all them, Jermaine Dupri, Bow Wow, all them. We was fresh off of St. Clair at that time. So fame was still new to us.
Right. And which I seen on the video too, that she had the chain too. Was that one of y'all's chain, or it was just her chain that she's just like, you know what, I'm gonna just rock this chain, this cold piece.
It probably was mine.
Oh shit.
I'll be moving around a little bit sometime, man.
Hey,
Right.
B, I need you to shoot that story you told Crazy Bone. Your mic's off.
Oh yeah. So matter of fact, this is a part of the bouquet that I'm gonna give you too, because East 99, bro, was the album that did it for me. I was in a boys' home from 12 to about 15. So when I came home, I had a totally different mindset. So every morning before I go to school, I put that CD in there, and I got my day started, and it's crazy like how far it took me. Like, even to this day, I could rap you every song off of it. Every song. But there was a couple songs that I tripped off of, and we talked with Crazy about it. There used to be this game, Eternal Champions, and it had like the little sub screen that you could go through and find like the soundtracks or whatever. And a couple of y'all songs had the beats on there. And I used to trip.
Mm-hmm.
I used to tell people like, man, yo, this came from this. But I had a broke Sega. I couldn't even get that thing to work to show nobody. But
Well, yeah, you got a good ass ear because that eternal song,
Yeah.
that
yep.
And original Crossroads as well.
Yeah, yeah, the original Crossroads was too. That both of those beats was from. You got a good ass ear.
Nah, man, I just like I said, it was a part of my life. Like that album seriously was a part of my life, like straight up. And I can still
Yeah.
remember. I still remember every morning I put it in the CD player, and you know, this is like it's a trip to me. Like even being able to know that and being able to talk about it. And I don't even know if anybody ever asked you that before.
You know what? I don't think nobody never asked me that either, but I remember. Yeah, and cause I remember Craig was like, listen to this shit right here, and we got two beats off of there. We played that shit for Unique, and he was like, oh my god, yeah. And that's what you got. Straight up, that little return from the club. All that, you know. That's where all that came.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's crazy, man. Because like y'all did some epic stuff. Like being a part of Batman and Robin, you know what I'm saying? Like a DC world. Like, how was it having Look Into My Eyes, and how did that all come about?
I mean, we was hot then, you know what I'm saying? We was hot at the fish grease at the time. So yeah,
Yes,
they,
sir.
the big songs, the big movies was coming for us. You know, we was selling shit. Get them babies on your shit and we selling units. That's all that was. You know what I mean? Like, once we got in the door, once they got used to the flow, it was like shit, let's get, the days of our life soundtrack came, Batman came, numerous other ones I can't think of right now because there's so much we done did. But yeah, man, that was dope. And we was working at the. I remember shooting that video at the Aquarium downtown LA, and we was up on this big ass up on this roof, and motherfuckers were scared we was gonna fall off the thing and shit. Like it was like, and then the nigga got to drive the Batman car and all that shit. So we was some young niggas getting it back then, man.
Right, right. Because one of my favorites, I don't know if that was like the first soundtrack, was White Man Can't Jump. Not White Man Can't Jump, but The Great White Hype. Whenever you had Shoot 'Em Up. Like that was one of my favorites. Like speaking of favorites, like what was one of your favorite, soundtracks that y'all got to be a part of?
Also, I'd Set It Off.
Oh yeah, set it off. I mean, if any one of the soundtracks was like that defined it our sound at the time, that really put us right there where people knew that was Bone Thugs and Harmony. That was the Set It Off soundtrack when we did Days of Our Lives. You know what I'm saying? Because that had the harmonies, the long harmony intro, and then we bust them with the flip flop flow. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say that was Days of Our Lives.
So, is Harmony House still the label?
Absolutely, Harmony House is a fresh label.
Yeah.
It's still relatively new. You know what I'm saying? So Harmony House derived from, I had Mo Thug records for a long time, which I still do too as well. But you know, I I revised everything. Harmony House. House is my last name. So, and sticking true to the roots of my harmony, what I'm saying? It became Harmony House Entertainment. So, I'm releasing all of my solo music, all of my everything that I have coming, all the new artists that I'm working with, my children. We are Harmony House, you know what I'm saying? So that is the label, the imprint, the entertainment company, you know. Not
And
not to say a record label no more, because I don't believe record labels exist no more. So I would say it's our entertainment company to where, I'm trying to shoot my own movies. I'm trying to do everything in house and, capitalize on being the boss of everything and owning everything after 30 years of working with different companies.
yeah, you're flirting with like 4 questions of mine I have coming up here in a row, so we'll touch back on that. But also, you got new mixtape and new album coming, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So the mixtape, um, it's really just like it's a nod to all the it's a lot of rappers that's been paying homage to Bone Thugs and Harmony, like with a lot of their songs, Game, Lil Wayne, Always Shouting Us Out and all that. So all the songs that they redid in their eyes of Bone Thugs and Harmony, I just came back and put verses and different concepts to things, you know what I'm saying, and to give them, show them it's always love right here too, you know what I'm saying. So that mixtape is called Too Easy. It's just too easy for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I can do this shit in my sleep. But I also got the full album coming out too. And this album for me is one of my more thoughtful albums and shit. It's gonna be fun. It's called Hypnotic Algorithms. You know what I'm saying? So I've been working, man. I've been working. I got the whole Harmony House project coming. You know what I'm saying? So welcome to the House project with all of my artists. You know what I'm saying? From all my children, Trinity, Stevie, Stevon. You know what I'm saying? We got Sequoia Winners. We got Devin. We got Rocky Rock. We got Big Sloan. We got Dice. You know what I mean? We got HC the Chemist. You know what I'm saying? And then Young Greasy, I got Havoc. So all these artists that I've been working with, man, I'm just really finna really launch off this year in 2023 because 23 is a lucky number for me. I was born September 23rd, you know what I mean? So 23, Jordan, the GOAT, shout out to LeBron for beating that record, that 23, this 2023, I've always been plotting on this year to really show the world why I sat back and got my shit together. So it's a lot.
Hey, I'm gonna shoot one more, then I'll toss it to you guys. If you're having a dream dinner party and you can invite 3 other famous people, dead or alive, who do you want to bring to your dinner party?
3 other people? Dead or alive? That's hard. Okay.
Go ahead.
Let me go get a little Easy E so I can thank him. You know what I mean? Get him good and fed for all this life he gave me. Let me definitely go get my mama. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And let her know how much I appreciate the life she struggled for me for. And that's 2 dead. So I get 1 alive, right? I'm gonna go get my baby. Come on, baby, we going to dinner. Flat out.
Okay. And of course, sorry, I know mom passed recently, so sorry, condolences on that.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Okay, Prince or B, go.
Right. And speaking of rappers, you was just saying this, man, because I always love it when I get amped whenever I hear like Lil Wayne says, "I'm not that thuggish, not that rugged, but I do pack bone." Or even with ASAP Ferg with the song, on the Thug Lord. Like how dope was it working with ASAP Ferg, and how was it, what I'm saying? Because you're a huge part of ASAP Rocky. So what was your reaction whenever you found out you was influenced by ASAP Rocky?
I mean, it's like I was just so happy to hear it. You know what I mean? Like, but let's be real with the situation. When somebody shot you out, that shit feel good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I don't care if you just playing basketball or you got a good grade on your test. To be acknowledged is like that's what humans need to get by, to have confidence and things like that. So I love them little niggas. When they say bone, I'm like, oh, that's a shout out. What's up, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be happy for that shit. Like, so it's all love. Like, and that's why I always shouted out the ones that I love. You know what I'm saying? So like, because I know the power of acknowledgement anyway. I look at life on more intellectual level most of the time anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. I'm, I might have that young look, but I understand things on such a much more complex level these days. You know what I mean? Like I can get on anybody level. I could talk to the bum. I could talk to the president of any country. You know what I'm saying? I can communicate with life now. I understand it.
Right, that's a fact though, for real, and a little bit too, because and my condolences to you because we was all hurt whenever we found out about your mother, and so many people done passed, like R.P. Coolio. What was like one of your favorite Coolio songs? You know what I'm saying? Mine's always gonna be "Gangsta's Paradise."
Yeah, I mean, that was when he did that. He cemented his legacy for real. Like that was the shit right there. That beat was the shit.
Yeah,
LV was singing on that thing. That shit was crazy. Like, and on some real shit, like Coolio really touched my life. Like when we came down, he was older than me. He older. He was already in the game. You feel me? So OG nigga that always came and showed mad love. Check on the nigga like, yeah, what's up with y'all? Like he ain't just gonna walk past and not speak, and he always stop, talk to niggas, made sure niggas' head was on right, like a real OG nigga. So always had love for Coolio. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of laughs too.
right, and R.P.
We love Coolio out here too on our show too.
Right.
We had him on just before the passing, and we're big friends of Mimi, so great.
Yeah, we're big friends of Mimi, and she helps us with the show. You know what I mean, and also she's so many dope people. And RP Gangsta Boo, because we lost Gangsta Boo this year.
Another
Like
friend of yours, yeah.
another friend. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Like what was one of your favorite Gangsta Boo songs
or moments?
Or moments?
I mean, like I just really, I've been at the bar with Gangsta Boo. You know what I'm saying? Like we all kicked it, kicked it, kicked it, kicked it, kicked it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like our moments was like we lived in the moment at the moment. That's all I can give you. Imagine some superstars that said we didn't get along or whatnot, what the case may be. But all in all, the truth was like all throughout our careers, when we saw each other, it was always love. DJ Paul had always been love with DJ Paul. I never really knew um the I never knew um yeah, I never knew Juicy like that, but I did meet Crunchy Black. I always ran into him and had much love. So it was like it was love, man. You know what I mean? So rest in peace. I felt that loss too. Like over the past couple of years, man, I just been I don't know. I think I was almost depressed to the point where it was so much lost. My cousin passed. Rob J, rest in peace. My nigga Chico passed. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go on and on, Mustafa passed. You know what I'm saying? Like I can just keep going. But it's rest in peace to all my people. So you know what I mean? Like we just gotta keep going in honor of and just trying to keep being great with this shit. That's why I'm back interviewing. That's why I'm back like with our arsenal full of music. Back with Bone, touring with Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you know, ready to release that legacy project, which is gonna blow the world mind. Whoever
Yeah.
haven't gave us our flowers, they gonna wish they had it because what God got for you, no man can take from you. You know what I'm saying? So we got the legacy, the Bone Thugs and Harmony Legacy Project is gonna be steep. It's a double album. It's a all new music double album. It's the I mean the book, the coffee table book, and also the movie. You know what I mean? The autobiography movie.
Perfect.
So
One of the questions: who do you want to play you in your biopic?
I don't know, man. Might be one of my kids play me, man. I got this one son, Staccato, he acting right now, so he might get to play the young Layzie Bone. I don't know. It might be one of my kids. Or whoever do it, I just want them to bring it to life. You know what I mean? Do a great job with it.
So that movie's happening.
Oh yeah. It's not in production. It's not in
Yeah.
production yet, but uh, the 30th year anniversary for Bone. This is what my plans are. You know what I mean? This is what I'm hopeful for Bone Thugs and Harmony. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it in the universe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. My guys might have other plans. I'm not sure, but I'm always push the level of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I got plans for myself. I got plans for Harmony House. I got plans. Period. You know what I mean? As long as I'm living, I'm out here trying to make shit happen.
One of my favorite moments ever of Bone is that Rap City the Basement where Busy goes off on a rant and you were going there too, rapping for a while. Nowadays, do you think these rappers could really handle Rap City the Basement with Tigga?
Hell yeah, it's a bunch of rappers out here that could, man. Let me tell you, I'm gonna put my money right there, man. It's a lot of rappers like, but that basement, that's freestyle and that's right off the dome. So I would throw Young Merkham's right up on in that mug and let Young Merkham's Merkham. You know what I'm saying? Like he got that energy. He like that shit. So, but it's plenty of rappers like I can name them all. Anybody I fuck with can go in. HC the Chemist, Rocky Rock, Sloan to definitely chew up the basement. My son Stevan, that boy got flames. So I'm just like, my team is always ready for shit like that. It's just me. I'm OG. Like I don't need to audition no more. So I got a bunch of little young hyenas ready to attack though.
Right, right. Hey, I had to say this, man, because I remember this video, the commercial for Buffalo Wild Wings, boneless thugs. like, what kind of idea was it? And shout out to Call Me Choco, because Choco was in that, and I didn't even know that. I'm like, damn, that's the dude who did the Wake Up It's the First of the Month real video. And how was it, being part of that? And why they have you be coming to the building and saying, you know what, fuck that. I don't want to be boneless thugs. I want to be bone. We are bone. So how was it being part of that commercial?
Oh man, that was fun, man. We hadn't been together for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like we was like in between a 2 month break on the road or something like that. So when we came together, all that shit came together naturally. You know what I'm saying? So that was a cool experience right there, man. Because I ain't changing shit anyway, flat out.
Right, and just working with Buffalo Wild Wings too, everybody loves, Buffalo Wild Wings, like
we don't even have that in Canada. So every time I go to the Seahawks game or whatever, I go into the States and I get to finally go to Buffalo Wild Wings for some boneless.
Y'all missing out there. Y'all missing out there in Canada, man. Y'all need some of them garlic parmesans out there, boy, that make you slap your mama for real.
Facts.
Yeah, no, that's definitely for sure.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
I do got just one real question because I've heard some different stories. I got a few people in Cleveland that I've been moving around for a long time, but there's this one OG that used to tell me about house parties. Mm-hmm. How did the house parties jump off? Like, talk about that a little bit.
I tell you, man, I go back a long way with this shit, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, me and my mama had a type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like I always got to do what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? I didn't really have restrictions. As long as I was honest with my mother and what I was doing, you know what I mean? I was basically able to do whatever I wanted to. So in the 7th grade, I used to throw house parties, you know what I'm saying? Like my last name, House. We had house parties. Well, really, they was basement parties because we had our parties in the basement. You know what I mean? I was 12 years old. Me and Cray used to get together on Friday, make up our steps and shit. You know what I'm saying? Everybody from niggas in high school coming to this junior high party. We had the live DJ. I'm selling hot dogs and beer and pop. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, we used to get it in, man. Like, I wish we had camcorders back in the days, cause that'll blow up. Boy, we used to get dressed for these house parties. You talking about gazelles, nigga, high top fades. Niggas thought they was Kid and Play and LL Cool J and all these niggas, boy. We used to get it. Them things went down in history.
No,
Facts.
it's definitely history. One of my homies was he was telling me about it because I was talking about the Crazy Bone interview, and he was like, "Man, you should have asked him about that." And I was like, I didn't know." But the other
Yeah,
thing that I wanted
shit.
to ask you was every time I see you doing something, man, like you always moving. How did you come up with the name Layzie? Because you sure ain't lazy, bro. Like, how did that come about?
Ah, man, well, this story right here. All right, I'm gonna tell this story one more time, man, and I'm gonna leave it alone. So, I'm only lazy because it rhymed with crazy. You know what I'm saying? When I first when I went to Texas, I met a nigga named Al. Al name was Wishbone, Bone, and I was busy. And me and him got together. He was from Inglewood, California. I was from Cleveland. We went to this school called Trinity in Euless, Texas. You know what I'm saying? So I was running around with him and boom, I end up going out to Inglewood with him and boom, boom, boom. That's right when because I went to jail August 23rd, 1989. And that's the shit that changed my whole life. When I went, I met Owsley, and then I came back, and then that's when I was like, I'm Bone. And then I found Crazy Bone. I found his father was working in the store, and I was looking for him for a while. And I found his father. He told me what Cray was. And then Cray had a group called Niggas Beyond Compare with a nigga named Meech. So this when me and him first linked back up, right? I'm telling the story real fast because I want to save some of the juice for it for some other shit. But anyway, when I was like, man, we should do this Bone shit, me and Cray was debating on what we was gonna name the group. Was it gonna be Niggas Beyond Compare or was it this Bone shit that I was on? So it ended up being the Bone shit. And I remember we was laying on my bunk beds in my room, sitting on my bunk beds. I'm like, so what would your name be, nigga? And he like, nigga, I'm crazy as fuck, nigga. I'm Crazy Bone, right? So I was like, well, if you crazy, then I'm lazy, cause it rhymed with crazy, and that's how that shit came about. And I'm gonna put that story up.
I, I'm
Right.
I'm just telling you,
And
bro.
then
Like,
and then and then Busy Bone came along about 4 or 5 months later because I met him through my mother. My mother was friends with his father. You know what I'm saying? So and then my mother ended up coming over our house and never ever leaving. You know what I'm saying? So and he was MC Mello. You know what I'm saying? But he was like 14 years old though. He was like 13, 14. He was younger than me. I was already in high school, like junior high. I think he was in the ninth grade. I was in the 11th grade. And that's how all that shit happened, man. That
Right.
go a
That's
little piece of history for y'all.
you're the third Bone Thugs member we've had on the show. So we've had Crazy and Busy. You guys are awesome. You guys are my favorite group of all time. That's why I've been trying to get everybody eventually. We're trying to pick
I'm
and
gonna tell
choose.
y'all some real. I'm gonna tell y'all some real shit though. Like I don't be a lot of shit that Busy remember. I don't be remembering what the hell he be talking about. I be
Oh,
like, what? That ain't the way I see it. But I don't say nothing though. Like, shit, I mean, still my
Right.
nigga if you don't get no bigger.
yeah.
Right.
Well,
Well, I
only
was gonna.
positive
Oh,
stuff.
go ahead, bro.
Only positive stuff. You're also the uncle of Dizzy Wright. I met him up here in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh, like actual blood uncles for real, or like we call Freeway Rick uncle.
Well, Well, no, I mean, well, I'm his uncle as far as since he was growing up child.
Okay,
I've been in his life all his life. So his
awesome.
mom, his mom is like my sister, and she worked for me in my early Mo Thug days and helped me organize my business back then. So Dizzy Wright is her son. So Dizzy been around this shit all his life. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But he went and made his own way. So
Yeah, he was a
definitely,
very, very
definitely,
friendly, polite person when I met him.
definitely, that's my nephew, man, and I love him like I love him, and I'm so proud of what he be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like he another one that got out here and made his dreams come true.
Right.
I got one
Oh,
more thing.
you got
So as far as everything that you've seen and done in the industry, I know you've probably told your kids and everybody else things to stay away from and to beware of. Like, can you give like one of the artists that are like the younger artists coming up, talk about like owning their masters? Like, what does that actually mean? And because I know that you've been going after the masters of y'all's, and like, how big is that? Like, how big is that?
I mean, to have your masters, you know what I'm saying? Like the thing about it, if you just starting off, one thing you can know about what you need to know is you are 100% in control of your destiny at that point. You haven't given away anything and you own all your rights to you and whatever you're about to create. You know what I mean? So we need to look at it, they need to look at it from a different perspective, not just trying to get, because you don't have to just get on no more. You don't need a major record label to make you profits in music no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it helps if you got the commercial back in the big brand companies and all that. That's what a record company can put behind you. But it's to what's the detriment of what you're giving away. You know what I'm saying? Like I find like thank God thank God when we signed, it did give us worldwide notoriety. You know, we gave up a lot for that. We still 30 years later fighting for our masters on some shit we create. You know what I'm saying? But now we own all our, once we get that back, but everything going forward, we've been free for like 15 years. So now we own our own things, and to have a name with that, like if you can market yourself, if you can learn this business, you can go on YouTube and learn anything. You can Google anything. It ain't no excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like you can really do shit yourself and become a global phenomenon without selling your soul. So you want to keep as much interest in your company, in your business as you possibly can. To give it away like that shit was highway robbery. Like everybody in the industry should go to jail for taking a young man's ideas and holding it hostage for 30 years and making money off of it. Come on, man. Now you supposed to be a grown adult. Like your business practices what no better than that music industry. Okay. But now they're gonna reap what they sow, you know what I mean? Because it's called karma. But you want to keep as much as interest in your as you want. The folks that I'm working with, my groups that I'm working with, my children I'm working with, they own their shit. If I take it somewhere, I'm a license their music. You know what I'm saying? So that they always be in ownership. Like I believe in the artists need to own their shit because, you know, some God forbid something happen, you die, your music out there on the internet, your shit don't triple up because now, you know what I mean, the interest is you know how it works. So, but if you own it, then you can take care of your family with that. So, yeah, young artists, man, just know your shit. Don't just jump in the game because you want to be famous. It's a business. Know that part.
That's
right,
true.
right.
When I look back on like what Snoop did with Death Row, rebuying it back, I fucking thought like that's exactly what you wanted. You've waited all these years to finally get control of your music, and now you own everything that your name is on.
I love Snoop so much, man. That nigga be making moves. I love that shit. Like that's all you can. You damn near can sit back and watch him and just and like watch him like a guy in lights. You can go, oh, I'm gonna hit that move. I'm gonna that. So you know what I mean. Those that you look up to, watch their movements and try to duplicate that shit. That's all life is. So and he a great example. You know what I mean? Like that is the example. Get Death Row back, nigga. That was it.
Fuck yeah.
Like
As a hip hop head, I
salute.
appreciate that shit.
Yeah, that salute to a G like nigga. Say
Facts.
that again.
Oh,
Right, that's facts. But you know what? You know what's so crazy? 50 years of hip hop, bro. 50 fucking years
Mm-hmm.
of this great thing we call hip hop, man. I remember, having the single, you know what I'm saying, Crossroads, riding with my brother. Why he bought that CD, like playing that 10,000 times because just this feeling of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Okay, like how was it, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all got some of the best weed fucking songs,
yeah.
RIP, QB, Buddha Lovers,
Mm-hmm.
to weed song, to anything that makes you want to elevate your mind. Like, how is it being part of that industry that makes everybody uplifts a lot of spirits? You dig?
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, you said it hands down. You said we had the best songs, but I must just say we got the most weed songs out of any one particular artist. So you probably can compile a whole album of our weed songs. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. Like the world is very different now. I remember, I caught a case for selling weed. Now the shit legal. You know what I'm saying? So like I always knew it was the right thing to do. It never got me in trouble.
Right. And what is your favorite weed song that you ever done?
Phew, probably Buddha Lovers.
The weed song is awesome as well.
That's the best one.
The,
That's
they're
always sticks
they're
out.
all good, man. When I was a
All of
teenager,
them.
just starting smoking weed and shit, like I would just obviously put your songs on and chill to them all day. One question I had to ask: Cleveland is a city. It's obviously got the song with Avant. I've been searching for. You guys did a remix of an Avant song, but I cannot find it anywhere online. I don't know the song either. Do you remember what song that was? You guys were on the remix to his like number one hit song, and I cannot figure out the name of that song or find it.
I know a song you're talking about, but I would definitely need to hear the melody's name to
Okay,
call out the name. But I know it's out there. You just gotta, yeah, that's one of those ones, man.
it was a
You gotta
banger back in
find
the
that
day.
one.
It's one of those ones that we just kind of forgot about because it's not online. Can you tell us the Tretch story?
Oh, well,
That's
Tretch,
our
man.
guy.
I just went to go see Tretch in New Jack City in the play New Jack City. Like that shit was awesome, man. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
what you think about it?
Man, I thought that play was like it was really, really dope. I think all the actors did their stuff. They had the original Alan Payne, the original G Money was in there, man. Big Daddy Kane was in that mug, man. Yeah, it was pretty star studded. Hip hop was represented in that mug in a real way, you know what I'm saying? So that's a that's a story right there. But that's my friend, man. You know what I mean? We doing the growing up hip hop together, you know, talking about these kids and getting advice from each other on how to really rear these kids and keep them on that straight and narrow and still give them their space to be themselves. So, that's my dog, man.
He's an absolute beauty. We just had him on maybe a month ago, and I spent my
Yeah.
whole life trying to get him, and it meant a lot. And he's such a humble person. I try to cut it off the 1 hour idea that I have is how long the episode should be. And he's like, no, we can keep talking. We
Yeah,
can
he
keep
loved
talking.
us.
Great guy.
Right, he loved it. He even told us the story I ain't never, never thought we would ever get to hear about, like him jumping, Bishop in motherfucking Uptown Anthem, which everybody forgets, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
Right.
And,
Right.
speaking of, friends, man, we got so many friends that, hell, even our ex even fucking rapped with you before, like, at a show. And Court, you know what I'm saying?
Court.
Shout out to Big Court, Master P's homeboy. Like, he was over there at the show, at the Versus show, you know what I'm saying, behind Busy. Like,
I got an interview coming up with Big Court too.
ooh, shout out to him. Yo, I just talked to him too not too long ago, like when he was on live and stuff. Like, how, like, any Big Court story?
Nah, not really, man. I'm pretty sure he got some interesting questions from his perspective. We're gonna see what it do. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I just know I got that interview is coming up, and I'm looking forward to it too.
Right, and especially I wanted to talk about this because Make My Day off of the Thug by Nature CD. Wasn't that the first debut solo project that you had on El Burner?
It was called Thug by Nature.
Yeah, Thug by Nature, which I wanted that CD so damn bad back in the days because Make My Day was the shit. Like, how was it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what made that be the first song, you know what I mean? Or was that the first song of the Thug by Nature?
It was the first song was off the album. The single was Listen. Mama, listen. I'm on a mission for my future. If you knew the way I pursued it, the common shooter, you will listen. Yeah, it was Listen. It was called Listen. And then the next one was Make My Day. But I was going through it, man, with my well, maybe I shouldn't even put that out there. But
no, don't do it if you have to. Don't do it.
I had a whole nother vision for that video because I wanted to do that video with I heard, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was like a marching band to me, and I wanted to do that like at Howard or at one of the historical black colleges or something. And then, but I had a little. We ended up in the snow, and I wasn't happy about that. Yeah, that whole thing right there. But that song though was the shit.
Yeah, that was hard, man. I mean, nigga, you the nigga. Hey, I used to remember that whole shit back in the days. They used to get me amped.
Right.
What is
I was about to say, you know what I'm saying, Thug World Order, you got to work with Phil Collins, and we got the chance to talk to Crazy Bone, and he said that was one of his favorite, videos. Like, how was it working with Phil Collins? You know what I mean? Like,
and because all those all the kids were coming down the street, and it wasn't planned or nothing, and it just showed up, and Crazy was telling that story.
Yeah, I mean, everything about that video was organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, even to get Phil Collins to work with us, you know what I'm saying? He was like he liked the song, he wanted to do it, but his stipulation was we had to come to Switzerland. He wasn't leaving his country, you feel me? So he was like, y'all come to Switzerland, we can do this shit. And then come to find out, he was a little hipster, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't no old man. He was young, he was vibrant, he was hip. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we had a ball, man, riding them trains over there and everything, and just really seeing what type of king he was, man. That was something I'll never forget.
I also read today that you were a local hero one time when you saved some kid in Wyoming. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm from Canada.
Yeah, Wyoming. Yeah. I did, man. That wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying? Like, we look out for each other. We human, man. It's only one race. It's the human race. So if somebody look like they were panicking, you know what I mean? So my first instinct is to protect and serve. I don't know why.
Good people do good things. That's why.
I ain't the one that if something going on and loud banging start, for some reason, odd reason, I run into the fire. Like if the building on fire, for some reason, my first instinct is to go in. You know what I mean? I don't run
Right.
away from it. So that's just who I am.
Do you have a personal highlight? What is your favorite moment of your life?
I mean, man, I appreciate life. I don't have a favorite moment of my life. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate being here. I've been shot in the head before. You know what I'm saying? Like I survived that. I survived the ghetto. You know what I mean? I said I prophesized my dreams. I made it happen. And nigga didn't sit back and wait for nothing. Like I stayed true to my friends and shit. You know what I mean? Like didn't let nobody come in between family and kept it all the way real when the odds were stacked against a nigga tremendously. So it's like a favorite moment. I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like my favorite moment is it ain't happened yet.
Perfect,
Hold
guys.
on, it's finna happen. It's finna happen. It's happening. So now
Happening
we
right now on my show.
Right. It's happening on the
Yeah.
show, which is, I had to say this, man, because I'll be watching up, growing up hip hop, man, because
Yes.
how to support the big bro and you know what I'm saying? When we look up to y'all, like, and I was just seeing that, JoJo and Lil Easy E, you know what I'm saying? Everybody vibing out for the 50 years, and you was giving them an idea, like, how is it being a part of, growing up hip hop, and shout out to everybody on that cast. And how was it being part of it?
Oh man, I mean, it was definitely a beautiful experience, a fun experience. It was something that came into my life at a time where I was looking for something new to get into. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm freshly starting. I had created all this new music, and then listening to and having the opportunity to be Sequoia's mentor, listening to the young flavor and new sounds and shit like that, and vibing out with Lil Easy E, you know what I'm saying, and JoJo, and just really having something to do and being around the younger vibe, feeling vibrant again, you know what I'm saying? So having that whole opportunity to do the 50th year anniversary, to do a nod to it and work with everybody, you know what I mean, and really put on a little talent show for, which at episode 10 should be really, really fun. The last one should be really, really fun, you know what I mean? So going through the experiences, man, it was really, really a good one. So I think I'm gonna stick around for a while.
That's good. That's good. And also, I just wanted to say this too, man. Like, how was it? Like, who is one of you know this person, right? What's one of your favorite artists right now? That's brand new that nobody ain't never heard from. Like, who you think, from that? Like, as a new artist that's been catching your ear.
That's just out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I really ain't been on the radio right now. But I do like Lil Baby. You know what I mean? I like him. But I've been in studio mode, man. So I'm really like I'm rooting for these youngsters I'm rocking with right now. You know what I mean? Like Lil Dizzy, like I got a family out here that's music hungry. Sequoia got new music coming out. Rocky Rock got new music coming out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm rooting for these youngsters over here. Lil Stevie got music coming out. So, I don't think nobody can fuck with us click wise. Like, no, don't let me start that
No,
shit.
no.
Speak the truth.
Y'all real.
You go ahead.
Fuck it, we real, man. Hey.
I wanted to ask you something. I wanted to ask you something about steer it somewhere else. The end is coming was the song that you put out in the summertime. great concept, great video. It was good. Can you tell us about that?
Right, right, absolutely. So that's a song I did with one of my longtime friends, man. His name 5 Foot the Giant. You know what I'm saying? So he sent me this song talking about the end is coming. Really, it's talking about how all the mass shootings and all these losses to this gun violence and things like that. So that song was basically addressing gun violence in America and how senseless that is. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was with my dude 5 Foot the Giant. Y'all can look him up
Yeah.
on the internet, follow him on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? He might be another guest y'all probably want to check out because he representing the South. You know what I mean? And he got a lot of music out here. So that's my dog. That's another song I take that was near and dear to my heart. That was last year though.
Right. And I wanted to say this though, man, because I used to love saying hate was a Hater Nation. Like I love that fucking song off of the Art of War. Like, how was it like making songs like that?
I said, hey,
Hate
I
me,
mean,
hate me.
yeah, fuck it,
Fucking
we
we
don't
don't
care.
care. Yeah.
I mean, this the process. It is what it is, man. The music come from a place that's real, like it's from the soul, like it's reality. We rapping about reality, keeping it. We talking to Bone Thugs and Harmony music is really reality rap. You know what I mean? Talking about what we went through, things we really struggled. You know what I'm saying? So that's what them. That's the area where we at, like not the materialistic area, but the level of we come from the struggle, and our music is dedicated and meant to keep people aware on their toes, partying, having fun. It's that real life music, man. That's probably the best way I explained it in a long time too.
Can you tell us about Thug Love? Great song. Everybody loves it. We've had a bunch of the friends in common on the song. What was that like at the time? How pumped were you just getting on that track with Pac?
Oh man, I was just happy to be on the song.
Fuck
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? When I heard it was an opportunity for to be on the song, Pac was on it, and then when I heard the gunshots and all that shit, you heard how I came off on it. I wasn't playing with him.
Right. Hey, I was about to say, man, get up and get something with 3LW. Shout out to, Notori, what I'm saying? Mr. Tasha St. Patrick, what I'm saying? A young Tasha St. Patrick. How was it working with 3LW off of Get Up, Get Out?
I mean, it was that was a good
Get up and
song. I think we had did our parts when we did that song. We did they wasn't exactly in the studio with us when we did that part. We did the song and then it needed some extra vocals on there because that chemistry with the female vocals on with Bone Thugs and Harmony was always a formula. Nothing we never planned. It just turned out to be that way, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to them because that was one of those. That was one of those hits too. See, that's that style of Bone that I really gravitate to.
What are some of your hobbies outside of music? Or is it always just music?
I mean, I'm a Renaissance man. I do everything damn near, for myself. I like to cook. I like to play ball. Um, I like to do a lot of things I don't never get to do. Like I like to go fishing and shit with the homies if we can sometimes. What else? I like doing stuff. I like building things. You know what I mean? Like I like to be involved.
I see all
Bottom
the
line, if there's something going on, I probably want to be involved with it. I'll be trying to figure out how I can help. I'm in, I'm, I'm in the business of being in service to the day I die.
I see all the plaques on the wall.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, bro.
Hey, I see all the plaques on the wall. Do you have a favorite piece of memorabilia? Ben Prince.
Let me see. I got some around this one.
There's nothing but beauties up there.
I appreciate all this here, man. I feel lucky, man. I feel grateful. I feel blessed, and and I feel like I'm nowhere near finished. So, on that level, I'm gonna save some for tomorrow because I appreciate y'all, man. But I feel lucky to be here. I appreciate the interview. My Eyes on the Prize album is out right now with HC the Chemist. It's a really good album. If y'all want to go download that on Spotify or wherever you get your music from, it's there. HC the Chemist and Layzie Bone, Eyes on the Prize. You know what I mean? Go get that Sequoia LA baby. Man, we got a lot of stuff going on out here, man. Just continue to follow.